So by now you must have known that the court has sacked the governor of Ebonyi State, Governor Dave Umahi, and his deputy over defection to APC, Justice Igwe of the Federal High Court, sitting in Abuja on March 8, 2022, sacked Governor David Umahi of Ebonyi State and his deputy, Dr. Eric Igwe, following their defection from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC). The judge held that the total number of 393,042 votes Governor Umahi polled during the March 9, 2019 governorship election in Ebonyi State belonged to the PDP and cannot be legally transferred to the APC. According to the court, having defected to the APC, both Governor Dave Umahi and his deputy not only jettisoned the PDP but also the votes that belong to it. In the court ruling that going by the outcome of the governorship election, the office of the governor and deputy governor of Ebonyi State belong to the plenty, that's the PDP. There is no constitutional provision that made the ballots transferable from one party to the other. The court held that the PDP is bound to retain the votes and mandates that was given to it by electors in Ebonyi State as both governor and deputy governor. That both governor and deputy governor could not validly transfer same to APC. The court therefore ordered both Governor David Umahi and his deputy Dr. Eric Igwe to immediately vacate their positions, and that the INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission, should immediately receive from the PDP names of persons to replace Umahi and his deputy, or in the alternative conduct a fresh gubernatorial election in Ebonyi State in line with section 177 subsection C of the 1999 Constitution as amended. The court further restrained both Governor Dave Umahi and his deputy Igwe from further parading themselves as governor or deputy governor of Ebonyi State. The judgment of the court today followed the suit the PDP lodged before the court against Governor Dave Umahi and the APC. But we're looking at it, from a different angle. Of course, we know that yes, the Federal High Court today sacked them already. But after being elected, even if Governor Dave Umahi files his appeals and stay of execution, this very minute, even if he files his appeal today, of course, according to Charles Ogu, we are certain the appeal will ultimately end in the apex court, and there is little chance that it will be conclusively decided before the APC primaries. And we know that the governor has just made his interest known to contest for the 2023 presidential general election, that he wants to become the president of Nigeria, and this is just like a dent in his ambition to become the president of Nigeria. So we know already that no party wants to field a presidential candidate that is not sure of his status. No matter how any of you might look at it, it is a lose-lose for Umahi, according to Charles Ogu. But then it will help lay to rest the controversy surrounding whether or not an office holder elected on the platform of a political party can, while his tenure stays subsists, jump to another political party and still retain his mandate acquired through votes, which the court has since ruled belong to the political party, not the candidate. On a lighter note, when we check if this court ruling should stand, and if finally, maybe eventually, the governor and the deputy they are sacked from office, you should bear in mind that the governor of Cross River State is in trouble. The governor of Zamfara State, Matawale, is also in trouble because Ben Ayade defected to APC after he was already elected under the platform of PDP. Even the governor of Zamfara State too. So they are in big trouble. I already know that the governor is going for an appeal. He's going to appeal this court ruling, and we know that his tenure remains just few months. only this year, few months left in his tenure. And of course, next year, a general election will be conducted. So, even though PDP should field a new candidate now and all of that, the tenure has already ended. So it's going to be, a general election next year, but it has already dented his image. And I doubt, even if he wins at the appeal court, even APC has now zoned their presidency to the west, not to the east. So for him to contest for the president, the position of the president of this country on the platform of APC is going to be a Herculean task for him. APC has already zoned their presidency to the west. Even vice president to the north is not even to the east. So for him to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I mean, there's a big question to it. So I love the ruling of the court today, even though I know he's going nowhere, and the governor is going nowhere, his deputy is going nowhere. They will appeal it and they are going to delay it till his tenure elapses. It's not the ruling of the Supreme Court, it's a high court. So since it's not the ruling of the Supreme Court, he remains there. He continues to appeal until his tenure is over. But that the court ruling today has served as a deterrent to all governors that are decamping from, like I've already mentioned, Zamfara State Governor Matawali decamped to APC after he won his election on the platform of PDP. Governor of Cross River State Ben Ayade defected to APC after he won his re-election under the platform of PDP. So if there is a provision on the court that forbids them to do so, because the governor of Ebonyi State has already said that there is no provision in the constitution where the president or the governor is committing a crime for defecting to another party. So to him, he has already come out to reassure his people that he's still the governor. He's going nowhere. So, but the court ruling today is serving as a deterrent to all the senators, House of Rep members, governors that might be intending to decamp in the future. Some of those that are calling Obaseki out, Obaseki is not even in this circle. He's not even in the picture. He already contested under a platform of PDP and he won. So if they want to really decamp, they should decamp before election and contest under the platform of their new party and win. That's how Governor Godswill Akpabio lost his election. He decamped to APC and could not win his senatorial seat with APC. A seat he has won with PDP and he decamped, but he lost it. So all those, I'm hoping or believing that the court ruling will stand, and if eventually the governor and his deputy are sacked from office, oh my God, they are bringing some sanity, they are bringing some justice to the political system of this country, because it's really a game of interest. Because look at what is going on in Edo State now. The deputy governor of Edo State is almost breaking away from the governor. If you look at his interview with Shehu, political journalist of Channels TV, he asked him, "Are you decamping?" He was rigmaroling. He was dabbling with words. That they did not intend to join the PDP. He did not intend to join the PDP. Give you the platform. The governorship candidate of PDP then did not decide to be making issues with Obaseki and gave up his candidacy, and Obaseki contested under the platform of PDP. I'm not a practicing partisan politics. I'm not into partisan politics, but we are talking about justice. What justice demands in a democratic government. And the deputy governor is telling us now that he is about decamping his people. Wants him to decamp to APC. That's how one young governor, I don't want to mention his name, he's saying that his people want him to run, and someone made joke of it that he's like his people wants him to run. So maybe trying to tell us that his people wants him to run mad. You have not handled your state properly, and you're telling that your people want you to run. What are you running for president to do? Go and do what? You have not. They say, to whom much is given, much is required. If you cannot be a good steward of the little thing that is handed over to you, if you're not faithful to the little thing that is committed to you, you can't be faithful to much that will be given to you. So if you screw your leadership up as a governor, you can't become the president. You can't do nothing. You cannot do anything. So, guys, what do you think of Governor Dave Umahi's political career? I mean, his presidential ambition. If at all he is going to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. APC has already zoned their presidency to the west, and we see Tinubu there. Tinubu is standing as the strongest man from the west to represent them as the presidential candidate from the west. And we see in the east, we have seen Pius and Pius, we have seen Dave Umahi, we have seen Odjus Okalo, we have seen so many of them come up to tell us that they are interested. So, shouldn't this court ruling be used to, bring him down, to water his presidential ambition down? That we are going to know afterwards. But I would love you to know, do you think, because I see some people ranting on social media that this is a political witch hunt, this is a rascality in a rascality of the court and all of that. Without even the court, don't you think, when you talk about conscience,